Earlier today, President Donald Trump said he is going to impose new sanctions on Europe. He's going to demand that Europe stop buying oil and gas from Russia so that Russia will no longer have the monetary resources that they need to continue the war with Ukraine. Now, I ask you for just a minute to consider how insane it is that it took this long for a Western leader, a leader from NATO, to make such a request. Back when President Trump was in office the first time, Trump 1.0, 2016 to 2020, he put sanctions on the Nord Stream pipeline. This is, for the record, one of many pipelines that delivers oil and gas from Russia to Europe. There are others, but that was a particularly important one. Trump stopped the construction of it. And after Biden went and took office, Biden allowed Russia to continue the construction of it. It was fully operational for a brief moment. And this gave Russia the resources and the power that they needed to invade Ukraine. And that's exactly what they did. And you might almost wonder, even though Biden was such a critic of Russia and such a big fan of Ukraine, if he wanted this to happen. Did he want Russia to have the ability to invade Ukraine? And you might think, Kenny, that's crazy. Well, it's really not. Biden didn't work for you. Biden worked for the military-industrial complex. He always has. And so fast forward to what's happening now. Now we've had the war going on for 3 years. This war has been happening almost as long as World War II went on for, quite a few years, right? And Russia is still selling oil and gas to France and Belgium and Italy and so many other, not only European Union members, but members of NATO. We're actually buying oil and gas from a country while we're simultaneously funding a war against them. That is insanity. But it's crazy, but not if you consider why it's happening. The people that run the world, not people like you and I, not average people, not those of us that are actually affected by this war, the people that run the war, who run the world, who are often the most critical of the Ukraine-Russia war, are the exact people that want the Russian-Ukraine war to happen because it gives them influence and power and it gives them something to talk about. Meanwhile, Donald Trump, you may think he's imperfect, and that's fine. Maybe he is imperfect. But his demand to the rest of Europe that they stop buying oil and gas from a country that we're actively engaged in funding a proxy war against is such an obvious request, you have to wonder why it took this long.